Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this episode of Squared Circle Sessions. This is episode 22, and I am super excited to get into it. But however, before we get too far into this episode, I've got a huge announcement for everyone. In the description of wherever you're listening to this, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, we now have a Discord server for Squared Circle Sessions. In the description will be the link to said server. And so you can join it, be a part of it, be a part of future episodes, watch-alongs, all that fun shit. So definitely check out the description, join that Discord, let us know who you are, where you're coming from, how you found us, and come in, hang out with us. This is a good opportunity to build a community. So enough of my banter, let's go on. Everyone around the world, welcome back to Squared Circle Sessions, episode 22. We are thriving. We're moving forward each and every week, 2 episodes a week. I'm getting my words all fucked up. We're all right. Anyway, Braden, unfortunately, is not with us tonight, but in his place, we have Aiden here. Aiden, Hannah, how we doing?
Doing good.
I'm doing good.
Hell yeah.
Aiden, do you want to introduce yourself to the audience? Give a little bit of your history of being a wrestling fan or anything?
My name is Aiden Chong. I'm making content since I was like 8 years old. Seriously, making content for the past, I would say, 3 to 4 years. I make content everywhere. I've been a wrestling fan since 2011, I'd like to say. My first memory of watching wrestling was the Miz and John Cena rivalry in 2011, as well as the CM Punk John Cena rivalry in 2011. So those are my earliest memories of wrestling. Been watching it ever since, and it's a huge part of my life, and just something I really enjoy and very passionate about.
Hell yeah. That's basically how it was with me. Just, it's always been on growing up. And it's kind of something I've just gravitated towards.
But anyway, we should probably break down Monday Night Raw.
Yes, the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw. We've got, we have 2 matches so far confirmed for Elimination Chamber.
Yes, and I have the quick breakdown here, so I'll just read this off really fast, and then we can cherry pick what we want to do more extensive conversation on. So Raw obviously was in Cleveland, Ohio for February 9th, 2026. Opening segment was AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, and obviously that's a setup match for Elimination Chamber. Then we had our first match, the Usos versus the Alpha Academy, with the Usos winning. And then we had Liv and Dominic Mysterio segment interrupted by Stephanie Vaquer. And then we had an Elimination Chamber qualifier triple threat match with Lyra Valkyria versus Ivy Nile versus Rhea Ripley, with Rhea Ripley advancing to the chamber. And then we had a Judgment Day Clubhouse backstage segment. And then we had a CM Punk and Finn Balor segment with Adam Pearce and Michael Cole. Then we had our first women's match, not our second women's match, sorry. We had Natty versus Maxine Dupree with AJ Lee and Becky Lynch involved. And then we had Los Americanos with I call Copycat El Grande Americano versus Javon Evans and Original El Grande Americano, with Javon and Original El Grande Americano winning. Gunther and Byron Saxton backstage segment. And then the main event, another Elimination Chamber qualifier triple threat match. We had LA Knight versus Penta versus Austin Theory, with LA Knight advancing. And Masked Man strikes again. And then a PS, Braun Breaker is injured. WrestleMania questionable. Now, what do we want to talk about more?
That Javon cutter is something that really stood out to me this episode, because I did not. One, in someone in my chat, my friend Ryan, he actually told me, he said, like, yo, what's this? He's like, I had to come here for this spot. And I'm like, what spot? I'm like, I didn't see anything. Next thing I know, Javon hits this cutter from halfway across the ring. And the timing on that is one of the most excellent things and the coolest parts of pro wrestling. It's just like, damn, you really get to time everything up.
The most beautiful OG cutter I've ever seen.
Oh, it ain't get better than that. It will never, ever be better than that.
I can't, like... It took me a minute to get my jaw off the floor for that one. I was like, good Lord. But if there's anything
I did
that
not
can
have the
do it,
words.
it's Javon Evans.
I did not have the composure. I did not have anything to say about that. I was legitimately like, what? How did he just find a way? Because, like, to get that spot, especially, like, not really see it coming either, even from the TV perspective where you kind of hide things, it's still crazy. I didn't see it coming. I really didn't. I was expecting, like, someone to roll out of the way, and maybe we'll get a little interference or something. But nope, that was genuinely one of the cooler moments I've seen. And I was like, wow.
Like you said, the timing on that was absolutely impeccable.
We've seen many moments where superstars will try to go for the big moves, which I feel like it's always fun. You should always try it. I mean, it's wrestling. It's the art. You want to make it as beautiful as you can. And sometimes, you know, with art and, you know, how wrestling goes, many spots may not go the way they're supposed to. Sometimes, I don't like to use the word botch because, again, it's art. Things happen. Sometimes the spot just doesn't go how it's planned. That's what we saw where he tried to give the RKO or the cutter with Randy, and it didn't really go too well. But then at the Rumble this year, they made up for it when they, you know, slowed it down, took it a little simpler, and made a really cohesive move. And I feel like with this one, it was pretty simple. Didn't do over the top, but still looked and was outstanding. So I feel like Javon, the more seasoned he'll get under the roster, we'll be able to see him kind of tone down some of these moves and find a way to be able to just balance it out and honestly find his way to becoming one of the top superstars and eventually a WWE champion.
Please. That's what I need. No, with him showing out this early, it gives me a lot of promise for him.
100%.
But what were you saying, Hannah?
Well, I was surprised because the show actually opened up with Punk walking in the back, and I see AJ. I didn't expect her to be there tonight, actually, so it was a really cool surprise. Except for I kind of wish that they would have saved that to when Becky was in the ring, because I would have liked her music just to interrupt her and, like, oh, she's here. So, like, you know, I'm kind of torn between, like, you know, seeing her walk with her husband in the beginning part of the show, and then Becky Lynch kind of walking behind and realizing AJ's there, and then she kind of stomps, throws a temper tantrum, and then just walks away. But then that wouldn't have given Becky, like, the incentive to act all mad on her way to the ring. But I liked their promo back and forth. I liked Becky, like, I love her, like, sadistic laugh that she was doing, and she calling AJ a little chihuahua that's barking at her. And, like, I loved for the first time ever in a very long time, we had a yes chant in WWE. And that's
a
like
non-Bella or Brian inspired yes chant thing we have to add as well, which is pretty cool. Because, I mean, I think it's one of those chants that, you know, it caught fans early on, you know, 10, 15 years ago at this point. Well, I can't believe I'm saying 15 years since the yes chants, but it's been that long. And, you know, it's something that, you know, transcends Daniel Bryan, and it's not knocking him at all. It's the biggest compliment because I feel like he's one of those big icons of wrestling, and when a chant can transcend you, like the what chants, except it's not annoying like the what chants, kind of really a very nice compliment to wrestling as a whole. And seeing both of them like just genuinely have good chemistry. I saw some people online, which again, Twitter is not a real place. Seeing people online trying to hate and bash their promo, saying Becky was like, you know, a little slow in her words, where that was the entire point of said promo, was to try to act a little, I don't want maybe say iconic, if that's the right, you know, way to look at it. Because Becky was going through it. She was having some issues. She could not handle the fact that AJ was back and trying to take her title because she lost her twice now, or because of her twice. So I just feel like that was a really good segment and really good development. Now, I don't know how we're feeling about Chamber. How do you guys feel that we're getting that match at Chamber instead of just only at WrestleMania?
You know what I think it's actually going to lead to, though? I think this. It's technically advertised that it's going to be just Becky and AJ at Chamber, but AJ is going to be at Raw next week. They've already announced that. I actually think I don't think the singles match, the one-on-one match, is going to happen until WrestleMania. I think what's actually going to happen is next week. I think something's going to happen that's going to involve Maxine and Natty, and I actually think it's actually going to be turned into a triple threat. I think we're actually going to get Natty and Becky versus Maxine and AJ instead. Because why would AJ go out there and help Maxine, and then on top of all that, why would Becky then, tag AJ from behind like she did in the Maxine and Natty match? So I'm thinking like with Natty involved in the storyline with Maxine and AJ are friends because AJ interrupted that match that she had with Becky that initially had Maxine win the title. AJ and Natty haven't wrestled in a long time. Both of them go back to like the Divas era. I think this is actually going to lead to a tag team match instead, and then we'll get the Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania instead. I think that's where Elimination Chamber should go. And plus, it would help AJ get a little bit of that ring rust off before Mania.
That, and like, if it does end up becoming just a straight one-on-one between Becky and AJ at Elimination Chamber, I feel like that one's gonna end in some kind of like BS shenanigans to lead up to WrestleMania. Because surely this isn't gonna be the only interaction between the two, one-on-one.
Definitely not. We have a long build till Mania, and I don't think they're going to just say, hey, we'll do one and done, and that's it. We're definitely going to get a lot more into this. And I think, what Hannah was saying, I think with Natty, she has been wrestling a lot in AAA in the past couple of months, so I don't think she necessarily is, rusty or anything. I feel like with her, she's actually probably more seasoned than honestly a Becky would be, at least lately, or just because she's been wrestling in like every AAA show. I think Becky's been wrestling on most shows, but when you look at it, it's just like I think with AJ, if you do the Becky AJ match one-on-one in Chamber, you kind of kill the magic early on that could be of that match. I feel like it's two icons of their generation. Some might say the goats of their generations, and you just do this match at the Elimination Chamber just because it kind of kills that match. Now it is in Chicago, so I think the atmosphere would be able to add to that, which would kind of maybe keep that magic if you wanted to rerun it back at Vegas. But it's just, do we actually do the one-on-one? And like I said, I think the tag match is definitely in play. Now, I'm not saying it's likely. I could see a four-way go down, to be honest with you, and then maybe we find a way to get that title to Maxine or Natty, where if you really wanted to stretch another match on the Mania card, we could have like a 6-women's ladder match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which I think would be able to really spotlight a lot of the women's roster who may not get a traditional one-on-one or a tag match at WrestleMania, just because the roster being so big and having such great women on it at the moment. And if we're able to diversify it, give that mid-card belt to some of the women who desperately need, like an Ivy Nile, like the Natty Neidhart, I think would genuinely benefit the roster in many ways.
Absolutely. It's like... I really like that idea.
I just feel like they should definitely wait to have Becky and AJ at Mania. That way, that's the first time we see a one-on-one match. That way, that anticipation is still there. I just think that they're teasing that they'll do an Elimination and Chamber match just because, AJ, that's kind of her second home now because she's married to the most popular man from Chicago, basically. And, I think they're kind of teasing Becky and AJ just so they can get the ticket sales in. But I don't think this is actually going to lead to a definitive one-on-one match at Elimination Chamber. I think something's going to happen next week or the week after that. I don't know if next week is the go home show. Is it? I'm not exactly sure. But
no, I believe the show's at the end of the month. So
yeah, so there's
it should be 2 weeks from this weekend.
Okay, so I think what should happen is get Becky and AJ in a match, but not one-on-one yet. I think adding Natty and Maxine to it would really help. And I think Natty and Becky should go over, and that way they can get heel heat. And that gets the sympathy on AJ because that's going to make the crowd. Because if she gets pinned in Chicago, I would have Becky pin AJ, and that would help get the heat because it's in Chicago, and then it's going to help. It's going to give incentive for the Las Vegas fans to want to see AJ just take Becky out and like win the title. And I think that's actually like the best way to use the audience, get their emotions involved. Is what better way to get the audience pissed off in Chicago than to have them find a way to get like a dirty victory over AJ, like the most, one of the most adored female superstars that WWE's ever had, and then have her finally get her victory at WrestleMania one-on-one. I think that's the way they should go, in my personal opinion. That's the way I would book it.
That's fair. I was looking at it more as we were going to get like a multi-woman like four-way instead of a tag match, because I feel like with Natty eliminating Becky in the Rumble kind of has them having beef right now. I just can't picture that like them doing a tag match. Like, why would Becky want to trust Natty, especially with what just happened in recent weeks on the show? Which I'm not saying you're wrong.
Why would Stone Cold Steve Austin trust Triple H back in the day?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That was
exactly
kind of right there. But Natty literally just basically showed that she wants that title from Becky, and I don't think Becky, in this iteration of her character, would have any reason to try and tag with Natty. Because she didn't come to help Natty. She came to solely attack AJ.
True, but usually heels tend to like want to take out their enemies at the same time. Is,
Becky doesn't want to face anyone, right? She's trying to avoid this match at all costs. So because she screwed Maxine, Natty wants a title match and kind of deserves one. I feel like, she's been doing some really good work. I just feel like, in kayfabe, if you want to look at it from that perspective, it's Natty. She had a really big change in her character. The momentum's hot. We give her, Adam Pearce probably give her a match. And I think the story would basically be Becky's just trying to hold this title on to all grasps. Everyone else wants the title, but we have the mini feuds in it. And I think, honestly, Natty would win the title going into WrestleMania. And I'm not sure necessarily who would win the title at Mania. We could have an NXT superstar come in like a Sol Ruca, possibly win the belt. And I think that'd be really interesting and honestly a really cool dynamic for that IC belt to make a woman superstar like Sol Ruca feel important on her debut on WWE. And if we were to go take that title and make it serious, while, because Becky's done a phenomenal job with the title belt. I'm a big Becky Lynch fan. I think she's doing some of her best work of her career. I think it's at a point now where you can move that title to someone else if you choose to and build upon it. Now, if you want to keep it on Becky and AJ, that's totally fine as well. And you could throw in Natty and Maxine to solely have someone else take the pin. That way AJ can lose, but not have to lose it. You know what I mean?
No,
I think with Sol Ruca, I think like even if you want to incorporate Maxine and Natty involved in this, I feel like those three superstars right now specifically, I think the championship that they could really help elevate more is the other women's mid-card title that's completely been neglected. We need to get some eyeballs on the women's United States title. Absolutely. And if you want to, Sol Ruca, Natty, and I think Maxine could really, really help elevate that title. Because I know, like, in the eyes of the fans right now, it seems like the fans really want AJ to be the one taking the title off Becky. And I think AJ needs to have an intercontinental title run just for so the fans can have that. So I would leave that temporarily, leave that title to AJ and Becky. And then maybe if AJ wants to hold on to it, she can hold on to it for a month or even just 2 months, and maybe Lou can maybe wrestle at Backlash or something, or they keep it on her until SummerSlam, and then she can then somebody like a Natty or a Maxine or even a Sol could probably take it off AJ at SummerSlam. But I feel like if you want to bring Sol Ruca to the main roster, I feel like putting her on SmackDown and getting her in a program with Chelsea Green would make a lot of money, because I think somebody with her talent could really elevate that United States title.
And it really
that's fair. I do want to ask, in kayfabe, how would you get them over there? I don't think you could just basically say, "Hey, you couldn't win this title, but you could. Let's go give you Obi here." And I'm just again trying to hear out how you have to feel about that, because I don't the idea sounds nice. I just don't know how WWE would be able to execute it while basically just saying, "Hey, we don't really have a plan here. We're just going to throw you on this show and see where it goes."
Well, they've been doing NXT call-ups. And just, it's like they could just call Sol Ruca up whenever they feel like it may be after Mania.
That one I get. I think Maxine and Natty just would have to stay on Raw just because of what the booking has been lately. And if you wanted to get other talents on SmackDown to help be around Julia and that belt, you could probably bring Zarya as well and have her be in that division. I think Kendall Gray is someone who desperately needs to get on that main roster local soon. I would say mid to late this year. I would really like to see her maybe get called up. Now I can see them trying to have her down there a couple of years, really season her out. But I feel like she's really good right now, and it's something you can capitalize on and help continue her to have her growth because you have superstars like Bailey, like Charlotte, like Alexa who can help take her under their wing, kind of help her season in the business, and really try to develop into the next top woman superstar like a Becky Lynch who took the business by storm, basically became the first ever woman superstar who was the marquee. It wasn't just someone random woman who was like, oh, there's the eye candy. It was like, yo, that's the person we're going to see. I'm going to see Becky Lynch. And I feel like
that's the reason why I feel like they need to definitely bring back the draft and stick to it because I feel like both rosters need to shake up. And if it was me, I would draft both Natty and Maxine to SmackDown. That way they can still keep their rivalry going on, but they're fighting for a different title.
I think if this draft happens after WrestleMania, I would split them because I don't think you can drag that kind of story for so long. There's only so much legs you could have on that. Like, I think it's cool. They were a tag team. They split. I don't realistically see them doing anything long-term crazy between them, so I just imagine that it's going to end semi-soon. Like, again, I think this could be something where at WrestleMania, we can either have a big Maxine win or we just have another woman superstar come in and win the match and really, get a big moment for herself. Like, that's for the tag titles, I'm imagining we have Rio, the Bellas, Bailey and Lyra, and then another tag team.
Yeah. I just feel for, specifically for this WrestleMania, the only thing that makes sense in my head just for strictly this WrestleMania is AJ has to win the title off Becky.
Do you think AJ needs to win it right now? Because I don't disagree that AJ should become champion. But I think when you look at it, she doesn't have think she has to win right now because she's contracted for a couple of years. It's not like AJ's ever going to lose that star power. Everyone's still going to care about AJ Lee. And I feel like that's something you can kind of, build out a little bit and wait on because, again, it won't ever sour down. It won't ever lose its interest. People are still going to care and want to see that as to where other superstars like Maxine and Natty, you're only in the limelight so long. And I think with Natty's turn, you don't capitalize on it right now, it's going to be just as irrelevant as Natalya became for so many years. And all the work that Natty's put into it and all the return that she wants on it will become useless. So I think
that's why I think like a girl like Natty, I just think for this year specifically with what story's being told, leave the Intercontinental Championship to Becky and AJ just right now, just at least until Mania, and I think they should put the United States title on Natty. Because it's that championship that's being the most neglected, and it's that championship that could benefit the most, I think, with Natalya holding it. Because what championship really needs Natalya the most, and which one? I'm backtrack. I said that wrong. What title needs to be elevated the most by a dominant female wrestler? And I think it's the Women's United States title because clearly Road Dogg and company aren't doing anything with it. And I think if you add more women to SmackDown and add more women to that particular title, that one could be fought over with Natalya and the likes of Soul and the likes of a bunch of the other NXT talent that I think are going to be coming up here in the next year, and Maxine. And then maybe if you do more of a roster switch, that could also be fought over by Bailey and Lyra, Charlotte, Alexa, really elevate that title. Because right now the only logical thing that makes sense to me is AJ Lee defeating Becky for the IC title at WrestleMania, because I know deep down that that's probably what the fans are really going to want.
That's fair. I think I can agree to disagree. I see your points. I think they're very valid points. I don't think AJ needs the title, but again, it's not something I will be shocked at. And honestly, I could very well see them going in that direction. I just think with having star power and Becky and AJ, that's a match where you don't necessarily need a title. And I feel like those are superstars who can carry their own and let a title be able to help carry another story. But anything could really happen. I think that's definitely a very plausible outcome that very well could happen in April, where AJ does become the Intercontinental Champion. So,
well, she's kind of got the Roman effect because Roman doesn't need to be in championship matches. He's kind of above that. But look where we're at. He's going to be facing CM Punk, and CM Punk's defending his title against Roman, and most likely he's going to win the thing.
See, with that one, there's a difference though, because I feel like Roman definitely needed to come back into the title picture, as it is kind of lacking at the moment at that with that super top power. And I think that just has to do with, the story was supposed to be Seth Rollins taking on Roman Reigns. I think that everyone knew that was kind of the direction WWE was going to go in, that they were going to finally get their one-on-one Mania main event. Now with Seth being hurt, we can't really go that way traditionally. Now my gut, I don't know, I'm having a weird feeling. I think Seth could somehow get involved in this match and maybe get a rehash of last year's main event. I don't think it's likely, but I see it. It's possible to happen. I would genuinely be interested in it with a desperate Seth Rollins trying to basically win back everything he lost, because he said he was going to take it all. He did, but then he slowly, but not even slowly, he quickly lost it all, lost his vision, lost the wise man, lost his title all within the span of like a week after being at such a high after beating Clear Rhodes. And I feel like that story of his redemption, trying to come back from that, would be interesting. And I think with Roman, it's just like he's your top guy. I've said this a lot on some of my content. When you have the top guy, Rhea Ripley, for example, it's not like saying, I compare this to Stone Cold in the way that he was the top guy for so many years. You want to know why he was the champion and he was in the title pictures? Because he was the top guy. Sometimes you just got to give your top guy the ball and continue to have him run with it, even if it's over and over, even if sometimes it gets a little sick to the crowd. If there's no better options, you just give it to your top guy and you let him draw it. I think that's what they're doing with Roman right now. I think he'll win the title. I think, honestly, we'll get a full-time, I won't say full-time, but like not as part-time as it's been, but a little more often we'll see him be able to maybe defend the titles on most shows. 6 to 8 PLEs of the year, I think, is semi-realistic of Roman Reigns at this stage of his career. If he were really to defend the belt and actually have to have the responsibility of it, I don't really think he'd hold it for more than 6 to 8 months, and I feel like he'd drop it to Braun eventually, but I feel like Roman's going to be used as a very strong, very convincing transitional champion over the next 6 months to 8 months, where we could finally maybe get to Braun Breaker or another young talent that WWE is really trying to invest in, like a Obafemi even.
Yeah, the only thing that I worry about is WWE relying heavily too much on the same 4 to 5 people being like in the main event picture, because I think their women's roster is doing fine. It's the men's division I worry about, because I worry about WrestleMania 5, 6, 7 years down the line, when eventually Seth Rollins will be retired, Roman Reigns will be retired, Punk will most likely be behind the scenes. I assume CM Punk is going to likely take over for Shawn Michaels in NXT when he's too old to be involved in creative. I totally see Punk in that element. I see Seth and Cody possibly taking over for Triple H when he gets too old. Roman maybe too as well. AJ Styles is now officially retired. At some point, Drew's not going to be there. Cody's not going to be there. Roman's not going to be there. Brock's not going to be there. Punk and Seth. And it's like you can't constantly rely on bringing them into the main event to sell your tickets, to be like the big guy. It's like they're not really investing in who they have now. Like right now, I mean, like they've been, for example, I'm going to use Dominic Mysterio as an example. It's making me kind of mad, because it seems like they've been teasing a Judgment Day breakup for 2 years, but they don't pull the trigger on it. And I totally thought the moment that Liv Morgan returned, her and Dominic were going to be a babyface couple and get them out of the Judgment Day, because I would have pulled the trigger on Dominic when he got that pop at last year's WrestleMania. He's the heel and he's getting like the biggest pop of that particular night. And it's like, that's the moment I would have turned him babyface and get him ready to be in like the main event picture in the next couple of years. Because I feel like he's like the most natural guy right now to be in that type of position at some point, like the top babyface fighting for the title in like 5 years and be in the main event. It's like, I just worry when they lose the nostalgia pull, and then they have is like Dominic, Braun, Bronson, Theory, Grayson Waller. I'm blanking on names, but Javon, Trick. They have the star power there, but they're not churning who they have into megastars, household names. They're focusing on the same 5 people to main event every single WrestleMania, every single PLE. We haven't even had and even with the women haven't main evented a PLE in over 3 years. And Hunter likes to preach that the women and the men are equal in the company, but still women only get 1/3 of the stories and like the television time, and they never main event anything. And that's kind of the frustration I get as a wrestling fan. It's like, invest in who you have now, because you have to have the new guard ready to take over for the old guard once the old guard retires, because you don't want to be like what Vince did with Undertaker. You don't want to have him constantly be called up once a year to push tickets for WrestleMania when he's almost pushing 60. You don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be constantly relying on a Roman Reigns until he's 65 years old to push tickets for Mania.
I get that. I mean, I think with the current crop of talent, I feel like in the past 6 months that WWE has generally done a way better job trying to utilize some of these younger talents, like Trick Williams. I feel like I was doubting whether or not they would know how to use him and really effectively do it. But he has really shocked me, and honestly, I've been super happy to see his growth and his rise in the past couple of months on the main roster, because I've been like, damn, like we're really investing in Trick Williams. Like, I think Trick Williams is the WWE champion by the end of the year. I'm fully invested and fully positive that he's winning a title this year. I think WWE is going to capitalize on him. He's someone who, hell, if they really wanted to find a way to have Roman Reigns put someone over, it could be Trick Williams. And I don't think it's too crazy to say, because I feel like with what he's been doing this past 6 months, in NXT at the end, and now into the main roster, he's been cooking. He's doing some of the best work of his career. And I genuinely think that if we continue to utilize that, Javon Evans, I think he's been a talent that's definitely been utilized a lot better recently. And I get what you're saying, you don't want to overly rely on these older talents, but at the same time, you also kind of have to rely on your top guys, and they just happen to be older talents. We go through these phases in wrestling where every 20 years, the average age of the roster resets. 10 years ago, John Cena was the main event of WrestleMania. The Shield were the big main events of WrestleMania. Now, we still had our older guys sparkled in there, but those guys were all in their 30s. Now, we just how it happens to be that we're at the end of that cycle. I mean, in the early 2000s, it was Triple H, it was Shawn Michaels, guys who were in their 40s. And we go through these periods where we have those guys basically even still hold their helm at the top of the crown, top of the show, until they're done at mid-40s to 50s. So I think we'll continue to see that be a trend in wrestling forever. It just depends on how long can they continue to establish these other talents and really build on the fact. Now, I definitely think we're going to get some utilization of these younger talents in the next couple of years. Braun Breaker, Obafemi. I think the women's talents. Now, I don't know when the next time they'll get a Mania main event. I'm not saying it can't happen this year. I think it very well could, depending on what the other story is. Like, if it's LA Knight in the main event of WrestleMania, or like the title match, I think that's what the title match is going to be for WWE Championship. I could see a world where we get Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer in the title match instead, and I'm cool with that as a main event, because I think it could definitely sell and would definitely work out for the women in that role. It just depends on what story's hot and what's not. Like last year, I did not see a world where we were going to get the women in the main event, even though they had a really strong case and a really strong match heading into it. We just had two really strong men's matches going into Mania, where you could make the argument that the women could have main evented over the Roman, Punk, and Seth, but I still feel like their star power just shows, and they're really strong, and I don't think there was any world where they were going to end up not in that main event spot. And John Cena retirement tour, I mean, shit. There was no world where John Cena wasn't going to main event the WrestleMania as last year.
Right.
It's just funny how his match ended up being the worst match of both nights.
It definitely did not hit the way it was supposed to. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I think the match made sense, but obviously, if you can go back, I feel like they would have changed it, because I feel like, he tried to ruin wrestling, and the story never worked out the way it was supposed to, but I still feel like that's one of those matches that, hey, I enjoyed it for what it was, because he was trying to pull up his heel work, and I thought he was doing it really solid. Just so happened to be that Dwayne and Travis didn't want to show up, so it kind of handcuffed him where he couldn't really do much about it. So he had to make the best of a shitty situation. I feel like he turned chicken shit into chicken salad as best he could, even if it wasn't the greatest, freshest thing we ever had. It was something that he tried his best to put into it, and I really enjoyed it. Now, I hope with this year, like I said, I think the women have a shot to main event night one of Mania. I don't think WWE, like I said, I think LA Knight's the guy who's getting this title match this year. I really, no bias, like I truthfully think this is it. He has to get the title match. There's no, like Braun Breaker going out especially, we know damn well he ain't getting that match because he's injured. This is the time to pull the trigger on LA Knight, to give him a shot, to put himself in the conversations to be a world champion in the next 4 to 5 years. Because I think he can still give you a good 4 to 5 years as a main roster talent. So we just have to see where that goes, continuing into, again, the next couple of years. And I feel like the lastly, to answer that question, or the statement you made, about some of the older talents. While we see them retire, we have the Braun Breakers, the Obafemis, Lyra Valkyria, Sol Ruka, Kendall Gray. We have so many young talents who are here, who are going to take that helm. We're just in that transition period where we're going to have to wait 2 to 3 more years to really see that fresh crop of talent in the main event heavy. Like Dom Mysterio, he'll be a world champion in 2 years. It's going to happen. That's one you can wait on because the star power is there. And when you finally get your moment, you can really milk it for years to come.
But it's about also getting the audience to care, right? And it's like, I feel like that's where they're missing. It's like they're not giving everybody characters to where the audience really cares. That's why I fell in love with wrestling when I was like literally a child, is like WWE, especially in the Attitude Era. I was starting to watch on the back end of the Attitude Era because I'm a little bit older than you. But I was heavily involved in like the Ruthless Aggression era, and the one thing that WWE did was make these guys not like physically larger than life, but more personality larger than life, and like every single one of them had a connection to the audience, and every single one of them was getting some sort of reaction from the audience. And I feel like that's missing in WWE, is getting the audience to care, getting the audience to want to cheer for you. Like for example, like the pop Eddie Guerrero got at No Way Out 2004 when he finally defeated Brock Lesnar, and the fans are like, the adulation of the audience is just going crazy. We don't get that really anymore with like the newer full-time talent, because the audience really doesn't know them. The audience really doesn't care, because it seems like WWE is not really invested in getting those superstars to have really strong, potent personalities and giving them like a connection with the crowd. The crowd has to get behind you in some form, some form and some fashion. You have to create an emotional connection, or you have nothing there. And to me, like the one example I want to make is, especially in like the Ruthless Aggression era, this is kind of like what I've been talking about with them, like relying heavily on the old guard to come in and push tickets. Could you have imagined, for example, we have what most people consider the greatest WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 17. Could you have imagined, because modern day WWE would have done this, but could you have imagined Vince McMahon in 2001 is promoting Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock, and then all of a sudden, 3 weeks beforehand, Vince McMahon brings back the Ultimate Warrior to be and turn it into a triple threat? That's what they're doing with like the Roman Reigns of the world. They're having all of these talents that could be pushed as megastars, but WWE is still having that cloud of Roman Reigns above them and say, no, this is really our top guy. The shows only really matter when he's on the card. And it's like he's kind of ushered in to all these spots. Now, do I love Roman Reigns? Of course, I'm not backing on Roman Reigns. I think he's fantastic. But it's the fact that he is he's put on the front burner constantly, and everybody else is put on the back burner, and they're only going to focus on the back burner once the front burner retires, and that's usually never been the way WWE worked, especially in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. You didn't have part-timers be world champion because they're putting the world champion on full-timers and full-timers only. And they didn't bring in like an Ultimate Warrior or like a Bob Backlund or like all of those older wrestlers too.
Not to cut you off, they did bring in Bob Backlund. I know they did bring him in. They even put the WWE Championship on Bob Backlund as a part timer. To be quite fair, now I'm not trying to counter argue that. I just know that did happen.
But like, you get my point, right?
To an extent, but I don't see Roman in that Ultimate Warrior role like you're saying it would have been in 2001, because we're still in Roman Reigns' full career. He didn't like go away or anything to a point where it's like, okay, we have no more Roman. Now he's not on TV every week, but he was still a connected character that had stories built around him, from other superstars for the past couple of years, and I think that's still continuing. I feel like that's another reason why he's able to be in the main event, because I feel like the way you were explaining The Rock and Stone Cold, where Ultimate Warrior came in, The Rock is Roman Reigns is in that Rock Austin echelon at the moment, or in that area and role on the roster, as he is the top guy. Now, I see what you're saying, where you think he's still the older guy. I just think the thing is he's been around for so many years, and he's only 40. Like, it's really not old, especially when it comes to WWE. And he's still a guy, at least 2-3 more good years left before it would become a hardcore part-time role where he's not having the yearly build story. It's more of like a 1 or 2 match thing, which he, 2024, he really took the step back because he had to, just to really let that whole title reign sink in. But other than that, he's been a little more than Brock Lesnar's standard of part-time, but even then, he could have shown up more here and there, which I think he will continue to show up if he does become the champion. So, like, what I was saying is basically, to wrap my point up, is I don't think he's in that role where he's kind of disrupting the show. I feel like the story's been consistently still built around Roman Reigns for the past couple of years, and I don't think we're at a point yet where we're going to have to remove him from our big major plans until we have our next superstar, Braun Breaker, ready in season to go, which I think is only a matter of time before it happens. Hell, I think it very much happens this year at SummerSlam if plans go the way they're supposed to, at least in my mind.
Rambo, you got anything? You haven't been able to say anything. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm just sitting, listening to it all. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of difficult because it's part of me is like, well, yeah, you know, Roman's been this would make what his like 10th main event.
I think 11th or so. It's in that ballpark though.
Yeah, but he's still like, it's still. I don't want to say he's still young enough to where it wouldn't become more of like a sore than anything, where it's like, oh, another one, because each time it's still relevant to what's going on. Now, would I prefer somebody else? Obviously. It's like, okay, you know, Roman, another main event, I could go for somebody else to be in that spot. But one thing I will say is each time he is, it makes sense as to why.
100%.
And that's kind of where, like I said, it's like I don't really mind it as long as there's a clear-cut, like, reason, like we can see what's the purpose of this. Not just, oh, well, that's who it is. Let's just go ahead and give him the main event spot. Like, it makes sense. Like, the story last year with Punk and Seth, that made entire sense for the Night 1 main event.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what stood out. Yeah, that nothing else really even had a role or chance to fit in because that story was just genuinely hot.
So that's kind of the way that I look at it. Is like, as long as it is a story that people care enough to want to see it as a main event, but it's something that makes sense and not just doing it just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
It's like, let's see how this works.
Another thing I want to bring up about Raw. So this is something that perplexed me. So obviously Roman Reigns came back last week and obviously chose Punk, and so it's set in stone that they are facing for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. I'm assuming it's the night 2 closer. That's just my opinion because I don't see any other match being like more of a bigger star power than that, in my opinion. But the problem that I'm having is I wish they would have saved that for like the Monday Night Raw after Elimination Chamber, which is when Roman is next scheduled, because now they're putting Punk in a World Heavyweight Championship match against Finn Balor at Elimination Chamber, but they've already advertised that Punk and Roman are going to happen at WrestleMania, so the fans already know Finn is not winning.
Well,
I would have preferred if we didn't have that far gone conclusion in our head, because I would have waited after Elimination Chamber that we can build up that drama between Finn and Punk, and then have the next week if Punk wins. That way this feels more like an if Punk wins at Chamber, which I assume he's going to because it is Chicago. But I would have had Roman interrupt Punk that Monday after and then say, I'm facing you. And then they could have had that entire month and a half to build up at WrestleMania. Now, I get why they actually did this, because apparently WWE is having a little bit of problems pushing tickets for WrestleMania, which rightfully so, because they price gouge people to death. But to me, this kind of makes no sense that they would promote a match last week, kind of make it official on all the social media platforms, and then advertise Finn versus Punk for the title. It just makes it seem like Finn is just going to lose.
Now, they did do this storyline last year with Io Sky, and even though we all assumed it was a foregone conclusion, she did win the title, and it really did shake up the WrestleMania plan. So I don't think it's out of the realm to imagine, like, hey, what if Finn does, like, I don't think it's, like, likely or anything, but I don't think it's something we can completely rule out to a point where it's like, he'll never win, because what happens if he does win? Like, you could book it to a point where he is now involved in this main event scene, and Triple H is really trying to hit a big swing with Finn Balor heading into that main event. Or, which this came to my mind literally as we're talking here, what if they did a thing where Finn Balor were to win the title, Punk gets his rematch on a Raw, Dom screws him, and that's how you get the Finn Balor babyface turn.
Well, the thing is, they don't really experiment with the men very well. Like they did that with the women because in their mind they feel like they can afford to experiment with the women's division. The men's division, they are predictable as fuck with, and it's like there's a reason why Sami Zayn has never been WWE champion, or LA Knight, or Finn Balor hasn't been a world champion since his injury 10 years ago. Because he was the original Universal champion for a day, and then when he came back after his injury, he never got put in the title picture really ever again. He was always teased, and every time they had the opportunity to make him champion again, they didn't put him over. And the problem I'm having is I don't know why they can't just give Sami Zayn a championship. What is so bad about pulling the trigger on Sami? What is so bad about pulling the trigger on LA Knight? LA Knight has had multiple opportunities to be world champion, to either win Money in the Bank or even win the Royal Rumble. But WWE just doesn't want to, because I don't think Triple H likes him. And I think Triple H is like his father-in-law and has his favorites and is keeping the guys that probably kiss his ass the most on top. And that's just how I look at it. And I think there's something about LA Knight that Triple H does not like. And that's probably why he's being kept down. Because I don't understand, with how popular LA Knight is, with how much of a star he is, why he can't catch a break with either a Royal Rumble win, a Money in the Bank victory, or a World Heavyweight Championship. Because I feel like he should have at least had one of those already. I mean, and they did the same thing with Sami.
With LA, I think it honestly, like, I'm not biased. What I'm saying is I am an LA fan. I genuinely think this is the moment right now where he's going to get his title match. I think a lot of people have been hinting at it, looking at it, thinking it makes sense. And I'm one of those people who just thinks, like, yeah, this is it. Like, everything makes sense. The timeline's perfect. Like, for maybe last year, Money in the Bank, I would have, like, the previous two, like, okay, 2024, I realized it made sense for your story. And you didn't really have a way to get LA Knight the belt per se. Now, I think you maybe could have had Priest drop to him, but you had your plans with Gunther already. So there were plans put in place. I get why LA didn't win that year. 2025, I see your vision with Seth. No pun intended. This year, I finally think it's finally open for him to get his title reign, and I really think Triple H will finally pull the trigger. I think it's meant to happen. I do not, in any world, think we're getting Cody Drew again. I think he knows better than to try that shit again. No hate to both talents, but we've seen it too many times to a point where
you put way too much faith in Hunter, dude.
I mean, I'm being a bit, from a business perspective, from a kayfabe perspective, from just a logic perspective, I don't think it makes sense in any way to have Cody Drew again. And I think if you're not doing Cody Roman because that's stale, they're not going to do fucking no Drew Cody again, because that shit's stale as fuck. And I think we're going to get Randy Orton taking on Cody in the non-title match. Now, I don't know how we get there, because I don't know who turns. I think everyone's going to say Randy's going to turn, but
it needs to be Cody, but they're not doing it, which makes me mad.
I don't know. I feel like there's been teasers that's been like, hey, I don't know, he might turn. Like, I'm not saying it's likely, but there's been things that point me in different directions where it's like, okay, I can't necessarily rule this out because I truthfully don't know.
The thing is, it's like, each and every week, you can tell the collective disconnect from the fans to Cody. Each and every week, the woe in his theme song is getting quieter and quieter. And whenever he talks about winning, or his opposition comes out, they get the bigger pop. It's like, eventually this has to happen. Otherwise, it's going to be a whole thing where your top guy is the most hated guy in the company.
Well, look what happened with John Cena when they constantly were keeping him babyface, and the fans were booing him out of the building for like 2-3 years.
Oh yeah.
The fans were just sick of
John's
it.
a case that I don't know if you'll ever be able to replicate again with the hate he did get, because it was different. Like, because even with all those haters, he still had so much of the audience behind him, and he is that ultimate Superman kind of role that you only have so many of in history.
Well, for me, I think like because they tend to stop and drop like storylines, I would have it be that it was Cody that attacked Jacob.
See, that makes sense, but I don't. If that's not the match we're going on for Mania, then what purpose would that do in helping out? And that, I guess that's something honestly you could sit on that for like a year, or like 6 months. You could sit on that, and you could eventually have it be literally anyone. You could have it be Jey Uso for all I know, to be honest with you, because he could just say, "Hey, you were getting the chance before I did," and maybe they have the interaction through the chamber or something to where Jay attacks Jacob, and there you go. I mean, hell, that could happen. Because I don't think Jimmy's having a Mania match. I don't see it happening with the Naomi having the child. My imagination tells me that, hey, maybe we don't have him in a Mania match. He might still be the champion, or maybe they lose the titles, but Jay gets his match. I think at this moment in time, Sami Jay is the match we're going to get. I think Jay is going to crash out on Sami Zayn for being so desperate in the chamber to try to get his moment. And when Jay loses, if he gets pinned or whatnot, I thought it was out in the Rumble, but I think Kevin Chamber, Jay just snaps, beats the shit out of him. And maybe, just maybe, that's how you finally get some more of the crowd over with Sami. I think it's the biggest reason why he hasn't won the world title. There was a time in 2023 where he had everyone with him, but it wasn't the right moment. I think a lot of people would admit to the fact that, hey, even though it would have been cool, it wasn't really meant to be at this time. We didn't really, because Roman Reigns is your champion in a good run. He wasn't the end goal. Cody Rhodes was that set end goal, so I feel like that was just the clear-cut chase to how we get to the next champion. Now, he didn't beat Drew because I don't think it made sense to beat Drew. He needed to fight the adversity because it almost felt like the Cody Rhodes WrestleMania 39. He finally got the title match. Here we go. Sami Zayn, he's going to win. And it's like, why? Like, just because he says he wants a title match? I feel like we need a little bit of a longer reasoning and a little bit. This is something you can drag out a little bit. I mean, I know it's been dragged out for years, but I didn't have interest in seeing Sami win the championship because what the hell is he going to do at WrestleMania? Smile and be like, I'm Sami Zayn. I'm the champion now after being held down for so many years.
One thing too that I kind of see, especially when it comes back to Sami and Drew at the Rumble, it's obviously I would have been absolutely ecstatic to see Sami Zayn win. But I also remember for the last couple of years how much I bitched and moaned and how much I was like, okay, we need a legitimate Drew McIntyre world title run. And yeah. I felt like it wouldn't make that title run legitimate if he held it for 3 weeks and then dropped it.
100%.
Because then what did that reign really even do?
Then who faces Drew at Mania then?
LA Knight.
You think LA Knight is going to win the chamber?
I am fully convinced LA Knight's winning this chamber match.
And if that were to be the case, it has to be now. It can't be another gets close and then sweep the rug out from under our feet. If this were to end up happening, this is the time for it to happen. Honestly, this is the last chance to make it happen before nobody gives a shit about it anymore.
I'm really, really terrified that it's going to be either Gunther or Cody, though. Because Gunther's in a qualifier match next week against Javon Evans and Dominic, and I don't see Gunther not winning that. And if Gunther's in the chamber, they're going to have Gunther win.
Yeah, good God. Reconnecting. Let me send you another guest request, Aiden.
All good. I'm here. Sorry.
Nah, you're good.
But is there for example, the last part, and then we can kind of get to the next segment. The Braun Breaker thing, hernia surgery, and he may be out for WrestleMania. So what's that going to do for what? Obviously, because I think what was going to happen is, I don't know if Seth's going to be ready by Mania, but I think that they're possibly preparing for Seth versus Braun. But Braun's out for Mania. If Seth is ready, I would not want him touching the Punk and Roman match, because I feel like that match needs to be one-on-one. But it's like, what do you do? Like, the Braun Breaker thing kind of sucks with whatever plans they're having for WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I hate to say, as I've been in that situation where Braun's at, where, like, obviously not on the main stages of, Monday Night Raw, WWE, potentially WrestleMania, but, like, I was getting ready for a huge match that I was going to be in. That was going to be, like, the match of my career, and ended up suffering a hernia. Had to get surgery, all that fun shit. And this is the it's an extensive recovery. It's not a very, very long and drawn out one, but it takes time. What I see this is, like, I'll go into Seth here in just a second, but I see this as a perfect time for Braun Breaker, like, whenever he gets back into, like, rehab, training to get back in the ring and all that stuff, after this much time off, this is the time where he really needs to, like, focus on his accuracy over just his speed. Because we mentioned it on a couple episodes ago, where it's like, Braun Breaker is very, very fast with what he does, and at times it does kind of make his in-ring work fall off. Like the amount of times he's tried to go up and hit the Frankensteiner and drop himself on his head.
I see those points. I mean, I feel like that's just seasoning that you'll learn over the years. He is still 25 years old, so.
Oh yeah, and it definitely is. And, like, this kind of gives him an opportunity kind of away from the limelight to really kind of work on that a little bit. And it's something that you'll work on more and more and more as you grow as a wrestler.
He's turning 29. We were born in the same year.
Okay, so 29, but he's still you get my drift. What I'm saying, he's still young.
Myself, Austin Theory, Braun Breaker, and Dominic Mysterio are all 97 babies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But as far as Seth, I feel like there's got to be some sort of closure, or not real closure, but, like, reconnection with the vision, not in a, like, reconnect as in realigning, but kind of touching base on that again, where it's, it was the vision that, quote unquote, wrote him off TV. The spear.
I have a proposition for you guys. I want to throw out there to see if you guys would hear it out for a Seth Rollins story.
What's up?
Now, maybe he gets put into the Roman Punk match. Maybe he doesn't, regardless of what happens with that. I kind of want it to happen, but I don't know if it will. What if, when Braun comes back, we clearly go that Seth Braun feud, but Seth's telling him, like, hey, I put the thing together. Don't trust the guys behind you. They turn on me. What are they going to do to you? I think the whole lore behind this masked man shit was just Heyman hiring, or it could be at least, is Heyman hiring some stooge to come in and fuck over Braun. And basically make it look like a whole ruse that someone like Seth's doing it. And he's trying to throw Seth under the bridge, but when Seth comes back, he'll be like, listen, buddy, I know, you think it was me. I want my revenge, but I'm going to do it myself. I don't need to go buy no fucking mask to do it. And then I'll be like, wait a minute. If it's not Seth, who is it? And it could basically be a thing where they know Braun's so powerful and so strong, let's have him take out Seth. And then when we need to get the business taken care of, we'll finally take out Braun when we should get serious, and we'll have Logan or someone win the championship for us, in kayfabe at least. So then we get Braun as a babyface heading out of that. and being on his own, or just being on his own in general. I think that would be the best move for Ron Rager.
I don't hate that.
Well, they kind of ruined what I thought was going to happen because this week they had the Masked Man attack Austin Theory, and what I was thinking was I would have had the Masked Man be Austin Theory and kind of being working for Seth Rollins to kind of help screw over the Vision.
See, I think with Seth at this point of his career and with what the story's going on, I don't think he'd want to trust. You don't trust anybody because everyone's fucked you over. So now you got to do it on your own, and I think that would be the biggest telling point: is why would Seth lie about wanting to do it on his own because you guys just fucked him over? I think with Heyman, he got Theory as the Masked Man, but then he got someone else to do it, and it could be just Theory's old buddy in Waller, simply as hey, he's a guy who'll do the job for you. This is how we can get it done. And it's easy booking, easy way, easy world,
Before we continue, it's not popping up in the chat because it's filtered. But user 1273987, I see the symbols that you are putting in chat that's being filtered. All you're doing is showing how dumb you are. So, I mean, if that's what you like to flex, go for it. But you ain't getting very far. Anyway, sorry about that. We can continue. No, every once in a while, I have certain keywords or stuff that TikTok will flag if they see it in my comment sections, and I'm able to see them and approve them if I want them on there or not. And there's a bunch of swastikas.
Oh, well, that's what TikTok has, found its way to. You got the trolls, you got the people who will say and do.
Anytime I see them, I will call their full name, their full TikTok name out on whatever platform I'm doing, whether it's a podcast or whatever. I don't care.
my best advice on that: don't worry about stuff like that. Just let it pass by. It's gonna happen. It'll happen again. You're never gonna be ahead of it. Just ignore it.
Block it. Before we move into the next segment, and I'll keep this in the podcast. A few months back, I was at work overnight, and I'd get bored and put top 10 lists on TikTok to go live and debate with. That's honestly how this whole podcast thing even started. And Hannah, you were in chat for it. And somebody had said something along the lines of I didn't know shit or whatever. And I was just like, all right, whatever. It's like, that's cool, bro. And as soon as I finished saying that, my chat was flooded with N-words and F-slurs and a whole bunch of shit like that.
Well, that's all part of the game. And I will say to you guys and anyone in the world being a content creator, and I'm not saying I'm hot shit or anything when I say this, those comments are going to come. I genuinely get way more than I ever thought I would. I even at this early stage making content, but it happens. I don't really let it get under my skin. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna try to keep my words right here for TikTok standards because I don't want to get banned or removed right now. But I've had many accounts. There's one guy who will make 100 accounts of my name. I hope Aiden Chong unalives or Aiden Chong does weird activities. I don't want to say those activities because they're wrong and I would never do such thing. I don't think I would ever have to specify that. But it's really that's what we're doing with life. We're that down bad, but it's things that happen, and ultimately I just try to not take them too seriously and just.
I usually don't that first time. I've never seen something like that before, like a mass takeover. Because you can ask Hannah, it completely took everything over.
Oh my god, it was disgusting.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Just to be blunt,
I was freaked out, and then it kept happening, and I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna go live for a couple days, see if that works. Went live a few days later, it started happening, but I kind of just ignored it, like it didn't happen. And eventually it faded out, but I was like, Jesus Christ, people.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I'll just be honest. You let it go.
Yeah, like I said, the first time it kind of freaked me out because I was like, I don't like that word.
Me neither.
No, like,
But anyway,
seeing hard R in my chat, I was like, no.
Very understandable.
I don't want
but
nobody
any
popping in and being like, oh, what's this guy talking about? And they just see that and like, oh, never mind then. But anyway, Hannah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But anyway, that kind of concludes our first segment talking about all things Monday Night Raw. We look forward to next week. I know AJ's going to be there, which anybody that knows me and is a avid listener knows I love that woman to death. So I can't wait to see her next week. Usually Braden does this part, but since he's not here, I came up with a what if question on my own, and then I have my little quiz I will do after it. So, Aiden, you are going to be so this segment is usually what if, so it's usually like a fantasy booking question that either myself or Braden normally asks, and we kind of come up with like what we think an alternative reality type thing would be. And the what if that I came up with is if he was fine and didn't deal with the substance issues and like the demons that he was dealing with at that time in his life, from 2009 to present day, what would a WWE have looked like if Jeff Hardy never left in August of 2009?
That's an interesting question. Now,
So fantasy booking, and the only reason why I thought of this is because I just saw the trailer for WWE 2K26 of like the CM Punk showcase, and they, for some weird reason, don't have a showcase mode for his rivalry with Jeff. And I think that's kind of stupid considering that WWE has a partnership with TNA right now. So I don't know why they would find that to not be a problem. But, going from that, from 2009 to now, what type of rivalries would it be and what type of matches? Which superstars' stories would have changed? What things would have been altered? From 2009 to especially to now, if Jeff Hardy would have stayed in WWE, what do you think would have happened?
now I think inevitably he may have moved on at some point, but if we're just looking at if he didn't, he could have faced a guy like Chris Jericho. I feel like would have gave him a really good feud. Now, looking at the crop of talent we had in that roster, I mean, he probably would have had to get a Sheamus feud in there, which at that point in 2010, I like Sheamus now. Definitely was not his best self in 2010. You have other top heels. I mean, Punk was there, so you probably face him again. I wouldn't be shocked if you tried to run a Miz Hardy feud, which I don't know how that would have necessarily went in 2011, 2010. And then we move past those years where we have the top heels like a Wade Barrett or, Punk would became a heel again in the future, Alberto Del Rio. And I don't necessarily know how Jeff fits in that role just because John Cena was, I feel like, the right guy to take on those responsibilities and just be the babyface that you had, but based around all these heels. So I don't know if this is the answer you were looking for. I don't know how, if it would have been as successful as Jeff Hardy's career. I think maybe could you say, his TNA career has gone after. Now, there's definitely the low points where, he had the substance abuse and different things that did not go too well for his career and his life. But I feel like, for all things considered, he's in a good place right now. His career with TNA at the moment is doing really solid. He went to TNA, he came back to WWE, had a pretty solid run, had some really good matches, and just don't know if him staying would have led to many great things in his career because of, the direction of his character. I feel like he had, executed and done all the stories he really could have with their top guys. And you only had so many more to really run before. It just felt like you were really dragging it into the mud. Like, I just don't see a world where Jeff Hardy, The Miz, is selling a main event.
If there was any, as far as thinking about how the whole dynamic for the, peak of the PG era from, 2010 to 2013, where it was just really, for lack of a better term, shitty.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to gauge, where he could have gone. But if I could play, kind of devil's advocate to say, something that I would have loved to see, even if he didn't win, just to see this interaction on a main stage like WrestleMania. A match with The Undertaker.
Interesting.
Not like broken down, decrepit Undertaker that we got in later years. Basically, like a subtle callback to 2002. Where in the middle of the ring, Undertaker shook Jeff Hardy's hand like, you earn my respect. And
Yeah.
Jeff has made reference of that time and time again throughout his career. And, just for fantasy booking purposes, that's something I would have liked to see, especially on a main stage of WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
The things I would have loved to have seen if like everybody else's story stayed the same, but he was involved. And in this alternate reality, he's not the same, Jeff Hardy that was using stuff that eventually led to, Vince not wanting to deal with him anymore for a very long time until he came back at 33 with Matt. I could see him and John kind of competing neck and neck for that top babyface spot. And I think instead of WWE fully relying on one top babyface to be the face of the company, I feel like John and Jeff would have shared that and had it be more of a like they could have been more of like a duo in that aspect, because they were the most popular with the fan base. They were the most popular with the kids, selling the most merchandise, both of them. Even though John is probably a little bit more equipped for the media side, I feel like Jeff could have adapted because he's just a genuinely cool dude and people genuinely gravitate towards him. He's got that charisma that you just want to be around him. And that's kind of what you want in the top baby face of the company, is somebody that you just genuinely want to be around. And I feel like that could have been Jeff. And I feel like John wouldn't have had to have taken on so much of that responsibility of being the face of the company. Kind of like at one point between like Rock and Austin, like those years, both of them were like neck and neck for the face of the company. It was just based off like the fan preference. Are you an Austin person or a Rock person? Well, I think like John and Jeff, it could have been, are you a John person or a Jeff? It's all based off personal preference. And on top of all that, I would have wanted to see Jeff in the ring with the likes of a developing, Kofi Kingston, John Morrison, especially with that parkour stuff that John Morrison does. I feel like him and The Miz would have had excellent matches. And then I think he could have gotten a really good feud out of Wade, maybe Heath Slater, maybe gotten a good match out of David Otunga, because I think he could have done that for him. Maybe him and Justin Gabriel because of the high flying. I would have loved to have seen that. And then maybe once the Shield comes in, like with how kind of like extreme both of them, like a Jeff Hardy versus a Dean Ambrose is very intriguing to me, or Jeff Hardy versus Seth Rollins. I think that would have been amazing. And then because I think Jeff does really good with the underdog type of matches like he did have with Undertaker in 2002. I could only imagine what Jeff Hardy could do with Roman Reigns. Like that would have been amazing. And more matches with him and Orton once the Authority storyline came about. Him and Ziggler. Jeff and Ziggler could have been an amazing match. And then more with him and CM Punk, because I could have watched that rivalry until the cows came home. I never got enough of Jeff and Punk. That could have been a rivalry of a lifetime. Maybe those two, if Vince McMahon would have given them a little bit of a green light and opportunity, I feel like both of them could have main evented a WrestleMania at some point. So, or even John facing Jeff in the main event of a WrestleMania, that could have happened. So there's like all of those components you can think about as well.
That, and it's like another thing too is like when you give Jeff more than just one singles WrestleMania match. Because the only singles match he's ever had at WrestleMania was against Matt Hardy.
Oh, that's right.
That was the only time he's ever had a singles match at WrestleMania. Other than that, he's been in one Money in the Bank, and the rest of them were tag matches. So, sticking around for a little while, and if Jeff were to stay, but, Matt were to go somewhere else, that kind of then takes the light off of, oh, he's just the other half of the Hardy brothers, the Hardy Boys. And I know, like, in 2008, 2009, people seen Jeff more than just the other half of the Hardys. But it would have given more opportunities to, especially whenever they went to these strictly, like, PG-rated shows where it was going towards, like, a younger demographic. That would have helped kind of expose him to that newer era. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But honestly, like, as far as thinking about like how shit would have gone, that's kind of hard for me to think of because like I don't really know. But those are definitely some things that I would have at least liked to seen. You know what I mean? Like you said, running, like, honestly, I would have loved, and like, this is to kind of tickle the itch of like my favorite kind of matches are like extreme matches. Give me an extreme match of some sort between Ambrose and Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me you wouldn't fucking love to see that.
Did we ever get a combination of Mox and Hardy in AEW ever scrapping it up?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I feel like they just missed each other, depending on what their storylines were at the moment.
Let me fact check because I do not think so.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about it because you were mentioning that. I'm not sure.
You fact check that, Rambo. I'm gonna use the restroom really fast. Hold on.
Alrighty.
And then I'll be back with my quiz segment really fast.
Word. They did have one match.
Did they?
Jeff and John squared off once in a singles match on the January 31st, 2024 episode of AEW Dynamite.
Bullshit. I gotta fucking see this shit. What?
I
don't remember this.
I didn't think that happened, but I sure as shit, I guess it
Holy
happened.
shit, it did.
Like we did see on Raw one night, whenever Seth and Dean were tag team champions on Raw, go against the Hardys just in a non-title exhibition match.
I knew maybe like Ambrose and Hardy could have maybe found a way to like that big tag or some shit. But like I genuinely did not think they touched AEW. Wow, I'm actually happy that.
I didn't think they did.
No, legit. I didn't know. I wasn't sure.
But hell yeah.
I see on YouTube there's a 9-minute segment of it. I would actually want to go find back the full match and watch this through.
I like that. Hell yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about wrestling. There's such an endless vault and such an endless, amount of stuff that goes on every single day, every year, every month. And it's just there's so much happening going on. Like who would have remembered that this match happened? Now I've watched AEW semi consistently for the past couple of years. I can't say I watch every Dynamite, but like I keep up. I did not. Yeah, this is a cool, and the timeline 2024 does not really strike my brain. I don't remember AEW in 2024. And besides Swerve being champion, really, I don't remember Moxley having a storyline after World's End, which I was at. I remember he lost to Kingston, and genuinely, I don't remember anything until he became Death Riders and he shaved his head.
Yeah, like I keep up with AEW to some extent. I actually went to my first AEW show last month.
Really?
I went to my first AEW show in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Nice.
And I went, and I was pleasantly surprised because a very good friend of mine who was on the podcast wrestled a show on Dynamite.
Really?
Wrestled a match on Dynamite in a tag team match.
Who was it?
Sam Stackhouse.
Don't recall the name.
He's more like known in like GCW.
Okay, not really my the wrestling I typically watch consistently. So Jeff was a heel in that match. What?
Yeah, Mox went to go shake his hand, and Jeff refused.
I don't fucking remember this shit at all about this. We're about to. I'm about to watch some raps tonight.
I'm back, guys.
And you know that match actually did happen
When?
in AEW once in
January
at the beginning of
31st,
24.
What year?
2024.
Oh God. All right, so. All
Yeah,
right,
we were
so
both completely shocked whenever we found that out.
all right, so I got a quick little quiz.
Hell yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the normal viewers, this is Hannah's quiz segment of the night. And what you two are going to do, if Aiden, you want to participate in the quiz, that's totally
Sounds
fine.
good.
If you don't. All right.
Good.
So my quizzes are a little bit always like really weird. But this one I have, I got inspired by Stash Club Wrestling, which is a YouTube channel online that I love. So shout out to them.
Hell yeah.
I'm kind of gonna do something that they one time did, but I'm gonna kind of do like a reverse way of doing it. So I have about like I think like 20 different images here. I'm actually gonna give you guys the pay-per-view and the year, but you have to guess who's on the poster of the pay-per-view.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
That's how you earn points. And if there's multiple, I will tell you in advance if there's multiple people, and then you just have to give me as many as you can. Give me as many people as you think that's on the poster that you can
Sounds
think of. So what I normally do is like I can start off with like a trial run really fast. So like for example, if I was about to say like SummerSlam 2009 and I tell you how many people are actually on the cover, you just have to give me as many as you think, and whoever gives me as many right ones gets the actual point. So we can do one as a trial in case you have questions.
I think I get the concept. If
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So on the SummerSlam 2009 poster, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on, I'm gonna count right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 10 people on this poster.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back and forth each round. I'm gonna go back and forth and let each of you have a turn to go first. Since Aiden, this is your first time, I will let you go first because you are our guest. How many people can you name from the SummerSlam 2009 poster?
All right. So there's a couple names at the top of my mind. I'm not going to go off like 100 names. I'm going to try to keep it to the 10. Like you said, there's 10 people. I believe it was Cena or in DX because I think they came back. I think Legacy might have made this poster. Could be right. Could be wrong. We'll see. I'd like to say Taker made it. And then...
Hold on. Go a little bit slower. You said Cena or
Randy, DX,
okay.
The Undertaker, Legacy, and then I would put in Hardy and Punk.
Okay. You got 6 right so far. Rambo, so I will let you guys know which ones that you did get right, and then Rambo has an opportunity to guess the other.
Okay.
So there is John and Randy and Hunter and Sean and Punk and Jeff. Who do you think the other 4 are? Rambo.
Maybe Rey Mysterio. I might be thinking of the wrong poster, but I'm gonna go ahead and go for it anyway. Maybe Kane? I might be.
There is no Kane.
Okay. I'm thinking of WrestleMania 25, that's why. Let's see. Cena, Orton, Triple H, Shawn, Punk, Jeff. Shit.
You got 2 other names you're thinking of?
Trying to think of people who are like pretty prominent in 2009 that would be showcased on a SummerSlam poster.
I will give you like 5 more seconds, and then I will tell you the remainder.
There's a name I'll throw out if he is okay. Not like it'll count or anything, but for shits and giggles.
No, you can go ahead.
The Undertaker, I think, was on this one, right?
He is not.
Really? Okay, that one was all I felt good about.
Rambo, are you tapping out on
Yeah.
this poster?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
blanking super bad because I can see the first 6, but the other 4 now I'm kind of thinking like, okay, who?
I remember the colorway. It was a red and yellow one because they for some reason wanted to change the colors of SummerSlam, which made
It was
no
like
sense.
an old school type. So the people that are on it is John Cena, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Edge, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, Jeff Hardy, and Rey Mysterio.
Damn, I didn't think Edge would be on because I remember him. I thought he was hurt at that point, but that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So,
was thinking of WrestleMania 25. That was also in 2009. That's why I brought Kane up because I was like, he was on one of the posters.
Okay, so that gives Aiden 6 points, and Rambo gets 1.
Yay!
Wait, is that
Okay.
how that works?
Yeah, basically how many, if you, 1 person equals 1 point, so I'm keeping a tally mark. Okay, so the next poster, we have, this one would be Rambo, and if he gets it wrong, then you get to guess.
Gotcha.
There's 1 person on this poster. We're going to Backlash 2009. Who's on the poster, Rambo?
Backlash 2009. Was that? That wasn't Randy Orton, was it?
It is Randy Orton.
Oh fuck!
That's
okay.
a great one. I remember that one because it's that weird one. I don't know if it was the moon or something, but I know it was blue and he was like half turned around. I remember that one.
Yeah.
That was a good poster.
Okay, so we are at 2-6. Aiden is up by 4. Okay, next one. We are going to. There are 7 people on this poster, and we're going to WrestleMania 24.
Ooh, okay.
Aiden, how many people can you name from the 24 poster?
I should be. I feel confident I should be able to clean sweep this, but I don't know. I might be wrong. All right, I'm gonna go Cena, Triple H, and Randy. They had the triple threat. I'm gonna go Taker and Edge, and I'm gonna go Shawn and Ric Flair. And I'm gonna cap it at that.
You got 5 of them right.
Okay.
Rambo. The ones you did get right were Hunter, Randy, Cena, Edge, and Taker. Rambo, there were 2 other people on the poster. Who do you think the other 2 were?
Big Show and Floyd Mayweather.
That is correct. Big Show and
That's
Floyd
right.
Mayweather.
Damn, that's that thought.
So we are at 11-4. This next one will be Rambo. Let me find the picture.
Yes, WrestleMania 24 is a fucking gem. That is the first WrestleMania that I entirely remember ordering whenever I was younger. See, I was
Okay.
about to turn 6 for WrestleMania 24.
The next poster, we have got. Okay, this one is probably going to be the most challenging one because we're going to WrestleMania 29, and there is.
Yo, appreciate the follow. Thank you.
There are 16 superstars on this one.
Woo!
Fuck.
Rambo, you get an opportunity. How many of them can you name?
For 29?
Si, senor.
Let's go with Rock, Cena, Undertaker,
Okay.
Seth, Dean, Roman, Punk. Maybe Randy? I think that's where I am out.
Okay, so you named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 8 points on that one.
Okay.
So there was Rock, Cena, All the Shield, Punk, Taker, and Randy. You are missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 people. Aiden, do you think you can name the others?
I think I can definitely name most, if not all, of these. So we got Del Rio and Swagger, because that was the world title match that year, and I know for a fact that's on the poster. We also would have had Brock Lesnar and Triple H on the poster.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think they would have extended that to the manager, so I'm not going to say the other two. I know Shawn was at the corner, but he wasn't on it. I know we have Ryback and Mark Henry. I believe they might have been on it. They might not have been. Not too sure. Big Show and Sheamus probably did make it, though. I'm going to definitely go Big Show and Sheamus on those two, because I remember they were in the match against The Shield. And that really wraps it up, because the only other match was a match that got cut, which is Cody and Sandow with the Bellas taking on the Funkadactyls and Brodus and Tensai, which never actually managed to pan out. Fun fact, I was at this show.
Oh. And yeah, you got the others. So you got 8 points.
We got 8 and 8.
So they were all Rock and Cena, Undertaker, Triple H, Del Rio, Mark Henry, Sheamus, Randy, Big Show, Punk, Lesnar, Swagger, Ryback, and The Shield.
Hell yeah.
So we are at...
And yes, I agree. Punk and Taker definitely should have main evented that.
So far we have 19 for Aiden. And then we have 1, 2, 3.
Yo, Ben, I appreciate the follow. Thank you.
We have 12 for Rambo.
Score here says he's playing chess while you're playing checkers, Rambo. Well, I suck at chess, all right?
Listen, I will say I was the chess 3rd grade champion in my class, so I used to go to public school where they played chess, which can't believe that. But
My best game was Twister, and my big ass ain't doing that no more.
I don't know. Maybe he's got another move. I don't know, man.
All right, the next one. This is Aiden's turn. Okay. We have Unforgiven 2002, and there's one person on the poster. Who do you think's on the poster?
Brock Lesnar.
That is correct. It is Brock Lesnar.
That one sticks out like a sore thumb. That buddy he was yoked with the neck on that one. I remember that. Pretty sure that was the show where he got thrown through the set by Taker, and that's how they ended the show, even though Lesnar won.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay, Rambo, you are getting... We're going to SummerSlam 2003, and there's one person on the poster. Who do you think it is?
SummerSlam 2003.
Yes.
Let's see. Gotta think real quick. That wasn't Hunter, was it?
It was not.
Okay.
So this gives Aiden an opportunity.
Now, this first person I'm saying, I don't think it is. I don't know why Nash came to mind, but I'm pretty sure this is Goldberg.
It was not.
Really? Okay.
So both of you do not get that one. The person who was actually on the poster was Sable.
Oh my God, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Damn, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Rambo, I believe you are next.
It's
Aiden.
Yeah, I went
Aiden.
first with this one.
Okay. Now, all of these that I'm doing are the promotional poster. I'm doing Bad Blood 2004, but there was one person that was on the promotional poster and a different person on the DVD poster. But I'm going off the promotional. Who was on the promotional poster for Bad Blood 2004? Aiden.
Oh. I'm trying to think of when this time period was. So this is 04. I'm gonna go with Triple H as an reliable. I believe he faced Shawn on this card. And that's the only thing I can really think of. So I'm gonna go Triple H.
It is not Triple H. Rambo.
Bad Blood 04.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Chris Benoit?
It is not.
Damn.
So I will do the DVD thing. So on the DVD, Shawn Michaels was on the poster, but for the promotional for the event, the person on the poster was Edge.
Yep.
Yep. You're right. Yep.
As soon as you started saying, I was like, wait a minute.
Shawn came to mind, but I'm like, I don't think it was Shawn. Edge makes sense. I remember this is before he really looked like Edge. This is still like, it kind of looked like 90s Edge with the really long hair.
Almost gritty looking Edge.
Yep. That's the best way to label it.
Okay.
Fucking scored said Rebellion 99.
All right, we have 14 more to go.
Oof.
All right. All right, we are going to, and this is yours, Rambo, right? You're next, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to Cyber Sunday 2006.
Cyber Sunday.
And there's
06.
Yes, there's one person on the poster. Who is it?
Let's see. I'm trying to think back because it's not exactly the one I'm thinking of, but I don't know. Fucking Sandow. No. It wasn't Rey Mysterio, was it?
It was not.
Okay. Was he? He was on the cover of one, I thought, but I don't remember.
Aiden, what about you?
All right, before I give my answer, I'm gonna give my two choices that I'm thinking, and you don't say which one's right. I'm just gonna talk my thoughts through. I believe this was a woman. I remember it being a woman. The two people in my mind are Candice Michelle and Maria. Now, thinking of the time period, I don't know if Candice Michelle was around, but I also think she may have just been around. But I'm gonna go with Maria.
It was Maria.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I remember the red hair, the red poster. That one stands out.
Her hair was dirty blonde at the time.
Oh.
I think you're thinking of a different poster.
Probably, but I got the right answer, so I'll take it.
It actually isn't on here, but I'll tell you because it's not the one I chose. You're thinking of SummerSlam 2008.
Yep. I mean, probably a mix of that. I don't remember the blonde hair on the other poster.
The Cyber Sunday one is her in like a black dress and her kind of bent over a computer with blonde hair and it's straight. That's
okay.
hers.
Yeah, that was. I was thinking of a mix of the two.
All right. Next we have Aiden going first on the next round. We have Money in the Bank 2012 poster.
Oh shit!
There's one person.
Alberto Del Rio.
It was Alberto Del Rio.
Yes, it was. I thought Big Show or him, and that's the evidence.
Okay. You two are doing great. All right, Rambo. This next poster has 2 people. It's the same year, but we're going to No Way Out, 2012.
No Way Out,
Who are the 2 people
2012.
Yes, 2 people.
Was that AJ and Daniel Bryan?
It was AJ and Daniel Bryan.
Elite fucking pick right there.
All right. All right, it's the same pay-per-view, but we're going back to the year 2000, and it's 1 person on the poster.
No Way Out.
Aiden, who do you think it is?
Cactus Jack.
It was not.
Damn.
Rambo?
2000. Triple H.
It was Triple H.
Fuck. That's a good hit. That's a good hit right there.
All right. Next poster is coming up. Okay, Rambo, you're going first. We are going to No Mercy 2001, and it's 1 person. Who's on the poster?
No Mercy 01. That was, let's see, I'm trying to think about like the main event of that show. Let's see. I feel like I just did this one not too long ago with a guest of pay-per-view. Kurt Angle.
It was Kurt Angle.
Fuck yeah.
All right, we have just 10 more to go. All right, Aiden. We are doing the same pay-per-view, but we're going to 2008, and it's 1 person. Who's on the No Mercy 2008 poster?
No Mercy or No Way Out?
No Mercy.
I vaguely remember the stage. I'm gonna go Batista.
It was not Batista. Rambo?
No Mercy 08. I want to say the main event of that one. No, I don't remember. That was Shawn and Jericho. Fuck. Was that Jeff Hardy?
It was Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, because didn't he have a match that night with Triple H for the title?
I think so, yeah.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the co-main event. Because I think the ladder match with Jericho and Shawn was the main event.
Okay. Okay, Aiden went first. Last time, Rambo, you're going first. This time, we are going to Armageddon 2005.
Was that Batista?
It was Batista.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this real quick. I'll take it out of the podcast whenever I edit. But to answer this question in the chat that I've answered 4 times, we are recording a podcast right now. If you come back to more lives, we will get you brought up and you'll have opportunities to come up and be a part of it. But since we're recording the podcast, I'm not taking any more guest requests tonight. Anyway, sorry about that. I don't think they were reading chat.
Okay. All right, Aiden, this is your turn. We are going all the way to Hell in a Cell 2014, and there's 1 person.
R-Truth.
It is not R-Truth.
Fuck, wrong year. Damn it.
Dean Ambrose.
It was Dean Ambrose.
Son of a bitch. As soon as I said it, I'm like, nope, it's the wrong year. I pictured it 2013.
Wasn't R-Truth the
2013 one, I think.
I think it was like 20. I thought it was 2010, but I could be wrong.
No, I think in 2013 he was wearing that stupid ass gray suit that looked terrible on him.
Oh yeah. R-Truth in a suit just don't sit right with me.
Not at all.
Okay. Aiden.
No, he's back up.
Oh yeah, Rambo. Thank you. Okay. So this is kind of like the Bad Blood thing. There was one person that was on the DVD release, and there was one person on the promotional. I will tell you who the DVD release was. The DVD release was Jeff Hardy, but there was somebody that was different for the promotional poster leading up to it for the Bash 2009, and it was one person who was on the promotional poster.
Bash 2009. I don't know why my mind keeps going back to it, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway. Rey Mysterio?
It is not Rey Mysterio.
Okay. I don't know why my mind keeps going to Rey.
Aiden?
My mind's on the Punk, but I'm gonna go John Cena. All reliable.
It was not John Cena. It was Batista.
Fuck.
Okay,
I see it. I see it now.
Yeah, because he's doing the whole this number, like punching the fucking camera thingy.
All right.
Batista.
All right, we have 6 more posters. Who was first? Rambo?
That would
I
be.
believe he was first.
I believe it's you, Aiden.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to another Cyber Sunday where we're going to Cyber Sunday 2007. And there's one person on the poster. Who was it?
This one, I feel confident about Candice Michelle.
It was Candice.
Yep. Fucking Mr. Iguana in the chat.
Alrighty.
Imagine Mr. Iguana on a 2000s pay-per-view.
It'll be kind of nuts.
I'm here for it, though.
Oh. Okay, Rambo.
What's up?
We are going to the Great American Bash 2009, and there's 5 people. Who are they?
Great American Bash 09. Yeah, okay, because... Wait. They had a Great American Bash and the Bash?
Well, that's what I call it. I shorten it the Bash. But it's called the Great American Bash, but I never actually say the Great American.
In 09?
In 2008, they called it the Great American Bash.
8, okay, 8 makes sense.
Okay, that
In
makes
2009, they called it the Bash.
that makes a little bit more sense now. So,
And again, this one had a DVD release and a promotional poster. There was 6 people on the promotional. There was 5 people on the promotional, 6 people on the DVD release. But who are the 5 on the promotional?
okay. CM Punk, John Cena, Batista, Triple H, and Shawn.
You got all 5.
Holy
That's a good ass pick. I remember that poster. That's a good poster.
So they were the ones on the promotional, but then when the DVD release came out, it was Triple H, Edge, John Cena, JBL, Batista, and CM Punk.
Interesting.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we got 5 more posters. My computer wants to work. Okay. Is this Aiden's turn?
I believe
Yes.
it is.
It is.
He just got the 5 for 5.
Okay, so we're going to Survivor Series 2011 with 2 people on the poster.
Not seen in the Rock.
Yep.
Another show I happen to be at.
Never before, never again. So they
Damn
say.
straight.
All right, we are down to the final 5.
4, I think, right? Because that was you just said it was 5.
We have the checkmarks show that we've done 15 so far.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm about to give both of you one that I was at and was my very first show. We're going to go all the way to WrestleMania 19 in the beautiful city of Seattle.
Ooh, nice.
Which is an hour away from where I grew up. And there are a plethora.
Yeah, I remember this being a big one.
So there were 2 people on the DVD release that I actually own, and I will tell you because they're not on the promotional. At least I don't. Well, one of them is. No, both of them are.
Well, yeah, you can't mention it. Then don't say nothing about it.
Okay, there were 2. But on the promotional, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9. There's 13 people.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does it start with me?
I believe it starts with you, yes.
Yeah, I did definitely start to you. You might clean sweep this.
Okay. Jericho, Austin, Angle, Shawn, Brock, Triple H, The Rock, Booker T, Undertaker. Did I say Kurt or not?
You did.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can't remember if I did or not. I think Trish was on it.
You're missing 2 people. No, 3, I think. 3.
I think I might be capped on that one because I don't remember the other 3.
Okay, so you were right about Trish, Triple H, Taker, Jericho, Kurt, Austin, Booker T, Shawn, Rock, and Brock. You're missing 3. Aiden, do you think you have the other 3?
I have 2, Vince and Hogan, and I think the other one's Rey Mysterio.
You got the Vince and Hogan, but the other one isn't Ray.
Gotcha.
Who, the one person you are missing from the poster is Tori Wilson.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That makes sense. Couldn't remember it. Was she wearing a blue gear?
Yes.
Damn it! That I remember blue, and that's the only guy. I'm like, no, who's wearing blue? Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay. We are down. Okay. So we got like 3 more, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. This is number 18. We got 2 more after this. Okay, Rambo.
It's Aiden.
No, Aiden goes first.
Yep.
We're at Battleground 2017, and there's 2 people.
I'm first or he's first? Oh, I think I'm. Oh shit! Oh fuck! I'm gonna go Randy and Jinder, even though I don't feel confident about it.
It was Randy and Gender.
Oh, let's go. That's
That
the only
was
match.
Punjabi
I knew
prison.
Rusev and Cena had a match, but I know damn well they weren't on the card. I would remember that.
Yeah, that was the night they had the Punjabi prison match where Kali came back for no fucking reason.
Yup.
Okay. We are at number 19. We are going to be going to Judgment Day 2005 with one person on the poster.
Judgment Day 05. That was... I just watched this. Fuck. Cena.
It was John Cena.
Okay. I was like, I literally just watched that this
That
morning.
one, that's that. I feel that might be a top 10 like most iconic posters of all time. To be honest with you,
I literally just watched that this morning, so I was like, I was gonna be pissed if I didn't get it.
Okay, now for the last one. I'm searching for a little bit of a tricky one.
we got a score update, or do you know the score?
I'll let you know the score after we're done and tally up who won.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was keeping score until like half of it, then I lost track.
Okay. Let me do... Hold on.
Oh, haha, score. I see what you did there. Ha ha ha. So funny, last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur.
Okay, the last one. We have one person, and this is Aiden's turn, correct? I believe so, right?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I thought it was his.
Okay.
No, it was mine because he got
It's Aiden,
Cena.
yeah, because I just got Judgment Day
Yeah.
05.
All right, the last one. We have In Your House, Ground Zero, 1996.
96.
No, 7, sorry.
7?
Yep. Who's on the poster?
Now, you saying this one, I don't think, like, my gut would tell me Sean, but I think that's too obvious, so I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go with the British Bulldog.
It was not British Bulldog.
Yeah.
I just
Rambo?
finished watching this yesterday.
Oh,
and
God.
That is
What?
going to be Austin.
It was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's a pretty random show to watch.
I pick
All right.
random shit to watch all the time.
Hey, it's valid. Wrestling is wrestling at the end of the day.
So tallying it up, we got...
I had a comeback on that one.
You definitely were coming back towards the end. I don't know if I held on or not.
An unexpected comeback because I did not think I was going to go far in this, low key.
You got that really good WrestleMania 19 one. That one, I think, could have won you over.
To be fair, I've got like zero expectation in myself.
Hey, it's all fun.
Or faith in myself, more or less.
All right, I have the final tally.
Let's see what we got.
All right, Aiden, you got 29 points. And Rambo, you won by 6. You got 35.
Damn.
Yep.
That WrestleMania 19 one, I think, carried you to the
I
finish
think
line.
it did, low key.
That was a very well earned victory. I knew some of those on the 19 one, so I'm like, I hope he misses them, but that was good.
What's
Yep.
bad is like, if it was any other pay-per-view, like any earlier, I would have gotten Hogan. I don't know why I was blanking on him, but to be fair, I also do not like
That
Hulk
was
Hogan.
when he wasn't necessarily a full talent. He was leaving at that right after that.
Yeah.
And this is like this is what I usually do when my segment ends. This is my trademark. This is what I always say. And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my quiz segment of the night. I will come up with another one on Saturday's podcast. Thank you very much. And scene. I always do the Wayne's World thing.
Nice.
Now, Rambo, do you have any guess the pay-per-view to close us off or guess the
I
achievement?
do. I do
All right.
have a guess the wrestler by their achievements.
Okay.
Some
And this
of
is
you-
usually what we end our podcast on, is either guess the pay-per-view or guess the wrestler by the achievement.
Fair.
I think the last episode I did pay-per-view.
You did achievements.
Did I?
Yep.
Okay, well then I'll go to pay-per-views. I try to switch it out.
Remember, because Braden beat me one by one?
Oh yeah.
Because he's a little dipshit.
Ooh, yeah.
My voice can't go that high.
He got me on that Mark Henry with the 3 achievements.
Yeah.
My tag team partner is an asshole. No, Braden and I we're Squared Circle Sessions tag team champions.
I'm gonna get belts made for us.
And yeah, and you're our manager.
I'm the Paul Heyman of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, since I've got a personal connection, I'm the Jimmy Hart of the group. That motherfucker's the reason why I got a concussion one time.
Jimmy Hart gave you. I mean, that's a good story.
So while this is loading, I'll go for a little story time. Jimmy was my opponent's manager going into a match one night. And I was the heel going into it. And towards the end of the match, Jimmy was going to hit me over the head with a megaphone to cause the babyface to roll me up and get the win. But instead of hitting me with like the front end of the megaphone, you know, where it's a little bit softer, he hit me with like the back part of it where the microphone is.
Uh huh.
He fucking clocked me right in the fucking head with it.
I mean, hey, you could say that Jimmy Hart gave you a concussion. So.
I can't wait for tomorrow to go to the Seahawks parade.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right. Here we go. I've got a total of 6 pay-per-views. I will read off the matches, and you have to tell me what pay-per-view it is. Pay-per-view and year.
So you should probably kind of explain to him how you do this. So what he does normally is he'll read off one match, and he usually starts with the opener. And what happens if we can't get it off the opener, then he keeps on reading down the card one by one until one of us answers it. So it's not like he wants you to get it off one like match. Like he'll just keep on going down and down and down. And then he'll kind of leave certain specifics out because he doesn't want to give certain matches away or give certain pay-per-views away. So when he's reading the match card, he's still reading the same match card from the same pay-per-view. He'll tell you when he's moving on.
And
Gotcha.
another thing too is this is kind of the trick spot. I don't read some of them. I will, but I don't read all of them in order. That's where it kind of gets people because they're like, I say people because I've done this on normal TikTok lives too, where it's like, I'll read off a match and I'll read the second match and they're thinking that one's following the match I read before.
Yeah.
Getting the placement wrong and all that kind of shit.
Gotcha.
All right, so this first one, are you both ready?
Yes, sir.
We've got a tag team match between, this card's got a lot of tag team matches for fuck's sake. Anyway, sorry. A tag team match between Shelton Benjamin and Val Venus versus Matt Stryker and Kerwin White.
Ooh.
The fact that Chavo went by that name is ridiculous.
And looked like he did.
He looked like a freaking caddy golfer or whatever. Caddy boy.
Yep.
Who knows? Meltzer probably would rate this 5 stars.
Probably.
Fuck Meltzer.
Fucking Meltzer. No, I think in like episode 6, I went on this like 45-second just cutting a straight promo on Dave Meltzer.
That's fair.
Well, it's because I did a quiz. Guess which match had the bigger star rating from the Dave Meltzer. So I did 2 matches. I read off 2 different types of matches, and Braden and him had to guess like the star rating and which match he thinks was rated higher. And there were so many matches that were completely absurd, and Rambo is just having a freaking meltdown.
Oh, it pissed me off. Because tell me why Steamboat and Savage from WrestleMania 3 is not a 5-star match.
It is. I mean, you have to. I mean, I guess.
know.
Dave Meltzer, I remember the paper that one that Dave Meltzer rated that a 3.25.
Anyway,
It's
y'all ready for the next
it's
one?
So wait,
yes.
do I guess here or do you just listen?
If you have a guess, you're more than welcome to, but if not, I can read the next one.
My guess would be like the Great American Bash 06.
It is not. Are y'all ready for the next one?
Yep.
Yeah.
The next one is another tag team match between the team of Chris Masters and Snitsky versus Rey Mysterio and Matt Hardy.
The fuck? Was this like a tap to 05 Taboo Tuesday?
It is 05 Taboo Tuesday.
That makes so much sense because that was I'm thinking. I'm like, there's no world where logic has this make sense. That's why that makes sense.
The third tag team match of the night out of 4 tag team matches was a match between Rob Conway and Tyson Tomko versus Eugene and Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Well, that's random.
Hey, it was at Cyber Sunday 06 where Roddy Piper and Ric Flair won the tag team titles off the Spirit Squad. That sounds weird saying.
A little bit.
All right, so Aiden's up by 1. What is the next pay-per-view?
The next pay-per-view is... Come on now. There we go. If it'll fucking load.
That's why I hate the internet.
Yeah, my internet's been kind of shitty today. It's been overcast in my area. All right, here we go. The first match is Goldust versus Steven Richards.
Okay.
And then let me know whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. I don't got nothing.
Yeah, you can move on.
All right, we have a Cruiserweight Championship match between Billy Kidman and Jamie Noble.
Okay. I've narrowed a year down in my head. I just don't have a match, so I'm not going to throw anything out there.
All right, you both ready?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got a no disqualification match between Booker T and The Big Show.
Ooh. Okay. Is this like Judgment Day 02?
It is not. Are y'all ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
We have an elimination tables match between the Dudley Boys, being Bubba Ray and Spike, versus Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit.
Oh, I thought I knew this. I don't know this. Oh, shit. Fuck, I don't know.
Is this Judgment Day 04?
It is not. And then let me know whenever you're ready.
I'm just going to throw a stab out there. No Mercy 03.
It is not.
Yeah, I don't know.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches left on this card.
Oh, fuck, damn. We used to get loaded pay-per-views back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
I miss those days. I really do.
I think I read one of
I
them
enjoy the
off.
current days. I just wish there was a mix.
I read one of them off one night that had like 12 matches on it. I was like, Jesus Christ. And it wasn't one of the big 4 pay-per-views. All right. Next one is a European Championship match between
Holy shit.
William Regal and Jeff Hardy.
Fucking...
No Mercy 01?
It is not.
Armageddon 02?
It is not. Are you ready?
Yeah, you're ready to go.
We have a WWE Tag Team Championship match between Lance Storm and Christian versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Edge.
Backlash 02?
It is not.
King of the Ring 02.
It is not.
Oh, God.
I think we both figured out what year it is, but I don't think either of us have a fucking clue what show this is.
The next three could give
Is this
it away.
Judgment Day 02?
It is not.
SummerSlam 02?
No.
Shit. I think I know the year. It's like, what the ooh, boy.
And then let me know whenever y'all are ready.
I'm ready
Go
to go.
ahead.
Next, we have an Intercontinental Championship match between Rob Van Dam and Brock Lesnar.
No Way
It's
Out
fucking
2002?
No,
Is this fucking Rebellion 02?
it is not. It's weird to see Brock Lesnar in an IC title match. Just by the way.
I remember that match. I just don't remember what the fucking show's called.
There are 2 matches left.
Good to go.
All right, Hannah, you ready?
Vengeance 02?
It is Vengeance 2002.
That's a good one. Damn, I wouldn't. I did not think of that name at all.
The one match that would have definitely given it away was Chris Jericho versus John Cena.
I don't think that would have given. Honestly,
Oh, that
genuinely.
would have.
At least not for me. I wouldn't remember that. I knew the match. I didn't realize Vengeance was in 02. I remember that in 03.
The main event.
That was on my John Cena trivia quiz. Remember that episode?
Yep. The main event was a triple threat match for the undisputed title between The Rock, The Undertaker, and Kurt Angle.
That would have gave it away for me.
So it is now 1-1.
Damn, that was a good round.
By the way, we should applaud Aiden for being a wonderful guest tonight.
Hell yeah, dude.
You guys are great hosts.
Definitely stick around for more of these.
Yeah.
All right. Once this loads, I'll read it off. All right. We have a match for the 24/7 championship
Okay.
between Drew Gulak and R-Truth.
Oh, that could be any of 100 different PLEs.
Elimination Chamber 2020.
No. And then I will move on whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit.
We have a United States Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Slapjack.
What?
Oh. Fucking
Retribution.
shit.
That little like Wish Nexus that came up during COVID.
Is this like Hell in a Cell 2020?
It is Hell in a Cell 2020.
Yes. Let's go. I remember that one stood out because I remember Lashley as champion. I do not remember him facing fucking Slapjack.
Oh, Alex, thanks for the gifts, bud. Yeah, anything from 2020 I was not going to get.
All right. And that crashed, so I gotta go into the website again.
So we're 2-1.
All right. This one is going to be kind of a trickier one. The first match is Lars Sullivan versus Cassius Ohno.
Oh my
And-
God, is this an NXT?
NXT Takeover. Give me Phoenix.
It is not TakeOver Phoenix, and yes, it is an NXT pay-per-view.
Shit.
Don't worry, I was not locked in. I've watched it in the future now.
I decided to do
NXT
this as like a little like swerve.
NXT Takeover Dallas?
It is not. The next match was Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream.
I don't.
Who used to be one of my favorites in NXT, but then
Yeah, we don't need to go into
certain
that.
events came up, and yeah, that changed.
Yeah, we know.
NXT Takeover Philadelphia?
No,
New Orleans.
no. Yeah, ready for the next one?
Yeah.
We have an NXT Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way match
Holy shit.
between Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, Nikki Cross, and Peyton Royce.
Fucking Brooklyn.
No.
NXT Takeover.
And this certain pay-per-view has had multiple pay-per-views of the same name, so if you could try to do the year, that would work. That would help.
Is this one of the is this one of the NXT in your houses? Like,
It is not.
okay.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
We have an NXT Championship match between Andrade Cien Almas versus Drew McIntyre.
Okay, I narrow this down to a period of time. I'm legit trying to think of a place in the country. Give me Chicago 2017.
It is not.
Okay.
Yo, Score coming in with the gifts. I appreciate you, man.
Thank
Alrighty.
you, Score. I appreciate it.
Are y'all ready for the main event?
I got ice cream cones. Ooh, that makes me want ice cream now. So gross.
Yeah, the main event is the last thing left.
I think I know this main event too. I just couldn't tell you where the fuck it is. So I'm trying to put something on my.
The main event is a triple threat 9-man match.
Wait, hold up. What? Oh, fuck! I know this
3 on
now.
3 on 3
I just don't know where. Shit.
between the Undisputed Era, being Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly, versus the Authors of Pain, being Akam, Rezar, and Roderick Strong, and Sanity, Eric Young, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf.
Is this NXT Takeover San Antonio?
It is not.
It's a War Games one. I just don't know if it's a War Games like a city. If it is, I'll throw. I'm not right.
Is it just NXT Takeover War Games?
It is NXT TakeOver War Games.
There's no city. Okay.
He just said that, and I was stealing it like a true heel.
Hey, there you go. You got it.
I rarely will throw in an NXT pay-per-view just to kind of switch things up a little bit.
I think this is your first time.
I thought I've done it once or twice before.
You said you weren't going to do NXT pay-per-views, but this is your first time, bud.
Oh, well, first time for everything.
You popped that cherry.
Great.
So we're 2-2 now.
Yes. But no, I just figured throw in an NXT pay-per-view just to kind of switch shit up a little bit.
Hey, that's a good one. That's a good way.
I like it when William Regal says War Games.
War Games.
I feel like whenever Adam Pearce says it, he's about to pop a blood vessel in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Pearce can't do his job. He screwed Becky Lynch way too many times.
Hey. I like Adam Pearce.
We need to take a shot every time that man takes his
Hey,
glasses
Adam
off.
Pearce does not know how to give Bailey a tag title match. Once he does that, then we'll be on better standing. Until then,
Okay, you got a point. All right. Let's see. All right, this is going to be fun. We have an Intercontinental Championship match between Rob Van Dam and Eddie Guerrero.
what the fuck? Give me fucking Judgment Day 02.
It is not. And then I will move on whenever you're ready.
I'm good.
Hannah, are you ready?
Yeah.
We have a hardcore championship match between Booker T and Steven Richards.
What's with Steven Richards, dude?
I don't know. It
He's
just popped up today.
Yeah, I got shit, so I'm ready to go.
All right. Hannah, are you ready?
Yeah.
We've got X-Pac versus Bradshaw.
Okay, fuck. This like King of the Ring 02?
It is not.
Damn.
I'll read off the next one on the card. This title was defended quite a few times this night. Another hardcore championship match
Ah, fuck.
between Booker T and Crash.
This isn't WrestleMania 18, is it?
It is not. That match happened twice. Obviously, both of them having opposite winners.
Yes.
I'm drawing a blank.
I don't got nothing.
Next, we have a European Championship match between William Regal and Spike Dudley.
Rebellion 02.
It is not.
Rebellion 01.
It is not.
If it's a rebellion, I swear to God.
It's not Rebellion. I promise.
Jeez. You and Braden with the rebellions are just ugh. What about an Insurrection 01?
It is not.
Insurrection 02?
It is Insurrection 02.
I was like, you're going to throw in a UK just to mess with me.
That's a good one.
There's this inside joke. So there was one point where I was reading off like every pay-per-view that was in 1999 because I knew like Road Dogg versus Chris Jericho, and I watched that match and I seen it, and I'm running off everything and I can't get it. And then Braden says Rebellion 99 and I flip, and like I accidentally threw my phone across my sectional couch, and Rambo's like, I heard the phone drop. Because I just got so angry. I was like, how did I not get Rebellion 99? And then he brought it into another quiz, and I finally got it. And we have this joke that I was like, Cody Rhodes, I finished my story. I finally got Rebellion 99. And they can't use that against me anymore.
Alrighty, are y'all ready?
I'm ready to go.
It's a ridiculous story.
All right, Aiden, if you get one more, you tie it up, then we go to the tiebreaker.
Alrighty.
All right. The first match, we have a tag team match between Legion of Doom
Oh shit.
versus Ted DiBiase and Erwin R. Shyster.
SummerSlam '92. I don't know.
It is SummerSlam 92.
Oh my god! Let's go.
What a fucking pull.
That's like me when I got capital punishment off the first match.
Yeah, but you got that off Evan Bourne and Jack Swagger.
It's a random.
This is a little bit different. But yes, it was SummerSlam 92.
Damn.
Whoa.
Okay, I really need to win now because
That was an insane pull, and I'm here for it. I like it.
I totally thought that was like WrestleMania 5.
As soon as you said Legion of Doom, I legitimately thought that show. I'm like, I don't know if they faced off, but I feel like both those teams would have been around that era.
All right.
You know what? I probably shouldn't have thought WrestleMania 5 because when Vince acquired Legion of Doom, he felt no use to have Demolition anymore, so he kind of let them go. Yeah, he kind of screwed over Demolition because he finally got Legion of Doom, and Demolition was his version of having a Legion of Doom. Anyways, go ahead to the tiebreaker.
All right. This is for all the marbles.
Big marbles. Some serious shit right here.
Fuck
Mrs.
yeah.
Big Balls.
As soon as you said that, someone joined and then left.
Hey.
You should let us teachers guess a show before you say anything. Let's see if we get it.
Go for it.
I'm gonna go Extreme Rules 09.
No.
Okay.
Alex in the chat says that's been Mrs. Gimmick for 3 years now.
It's a damn good gimmick. They're massive.
They're massive.
Mizzoni.
Oh god, that'd be a cool name.
Maurice is a lucky woman.
All right.
Maurice and I have the same birthday.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Both born on the 21st of January.
All right, here we
He's
go.
exactly 14 years older than me. Go ahead, buddy.
This is it. We've got Apollo Crews versus Kalisto.
Oh god, I'm not going to get this one.
Battleground 2016.
It is not.
Battleground 2015.
No. Y'all ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
We have a mixed tag team match between Noam Dar and Alicia Fox versus Rich Swann and Sasha Banks.
What the fuck?
Battleground 2016?
It is not.
Is this like no, not even. I wouldn't even know. I got nothing.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
We have a Raw Women's Championship match. And I'm not going to say the name of the match because it could give it away. Between Alexa Bliss and Bayley.
Payback 2017.
It is not.
Fuck.
Payback 2016.
It is not.
Shit.
The Extreme Rules 2017.
It is Extreme Rules 2017.
Fuck, yes. Of any superstar, that's Bailey's the one you can get. That's the one I'm gonna get. That's my favorite. And for those, I assume this ain't gonna make the podcast. This is why I'm turning my camera on for this. If I didn't get the Bailey one with the Bailey tattoo, we're gonna have some problems. So
Hell yeah.
I had to get that one. All right, I feel good now. I feel good.
Yeah, he really likes Bailey.
No, the next one I was going to read was a tag team championship match between Sheamus and Cesaro and the Hardy Boys.
That I would have got that 1,000%. I can remember that match.
The main event was a fatal five-way Extreme Rules
For
match.
number one contender for Lesnar's title. That was a random ass match.
Yeah, the winner would face Lesnar for the Universal title at Great Balls of Fire. And that match consisted of Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
But anyway, Aiden, congrats. You
Let's
won
go.
the Guess the Pay-Per-View of tonight.
We came back. We were down 3-2, but we made it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got cooked.
Nah, that SummerSlam 92, I genuinely pulled that out of my ass.
But
I should have guessed somewhere in 92 because I should have known the Legion of Doom did not get acquired by the WWF until like late 91. I don't know what I was thinking that was WrestleMania 5.
And Alex, to answer your question, Samoa Joe won that match.
That led to the greatest main event of the Great Balls of Fire.
See, Samoa Joe is somebody that also did not get treated the best in WWE because I wish he was here right now because I really want to see him and Punk run it back. I want to see another Joe CM Punk match but in WWE because we've never seen that. Because I love Ring of Honor. I love Ring of Honor, especially the 2000 stuff. And Punk, Joe, their 60-minute dance that they did, like Punk Joe 2, the one that ended with Samoa Joe beating Punk, was one of my favorite Ring of Honor matches. It's such a classic.
One thing I bring up often, and it will never lose its heat in my mind, is I do not understand why the fuck they had Brock beat Samoa Joe at Great Balls of Fire.
Because it was Vince. That's all you need to say. Which is the entire point I've been making about, like, you know, the inconsistencies with creative is, like, most of who of Hunter is listening to is Michael Hayes and Bruce Pritchard, and they are so out of touch, it's not even funny.
I will fully say, like, I think Triple H, I mean, you're never going to make everyone happy. Fucking Michael Hayes has got to go.
He does.
He genuinely, about any of them, clearly is. Like
he said about Chelsea
Bruce
Green.
Pritchard, he's lost touch, but even then, he doesn't say the stupid things. Like I heard fucking Michael Hayes say about Chelsea Green, that shit was stupid.
For that, he needs to go.
Well, Bruce Pritchard is the one that, like, he'll take credit for things he never did. Because I remember watching, like, the Last Ride documentary The Undertaker did, like, 6 years ago when he retired. He said that he was the one that created The Undertaker when it definitely was Vince. It was Vince's idea.
See, that one I could see some truth in because he technically did come in with Bruce.
Well, yeah, but he was his manager, but he didn't create the Undertaker character. That was Vince.
That one doesn't. The things I feel like he's taking credit for, that one I could see being a really big factor in, especially in the 90s, because that's some shit that I don't know if Vince would have done.
Only thing I'll say is, even to this day, Terry Gordy's still better than Michael Hayes.
Who's Terry Gordy?
He is a member of the Fabulous Freebirds.
Gotcha.
Isn't he, like, didn't he pass away?
Yeah, he passed away.
The only thing I know about the Freebirds is that's the fucking theme song they got. That's it.
Bad Street, Atlanta, GA.
But anyway, Aiden, I appreciate you coming in, hanging out with us tonight.
Of course, man. Anytime.
This is where we are wrapping up this episode of the podcast. Be sure to check us out everywhere you can find it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. We also have a Discord server now, and I will be posting the link in the description of the YouTube and the outlets descriptions. I lost my track of words, but it's all right.
It's all good.
Is there anything y'all would like to leave off before we close this out?
Yeah, I don't know why my couch just popped just now. That scared the crap out of me. Second of all, no. I'm just, I want to thank Aiden for last minute joining this because I actually asked him today if he wanted to be a part of this. So it's
Hell
cool
yeah.
that he made time for us.
Hey, when you got free time, it's always a fun time. And I appreciate both of you guys having me. This is a really fun time. Sometimes when you see some of these podcasts, sometimes people like to break things down in a really annoying way. I feel like I didn't experience that today. Very, very pleasantly. I don't want to say surprised, but I'm happy that it turned out this way. Because our conversation during after Cena's last match was really insightful, and I felt like that was something that I was hoping to continue. That continue today.
One thing that I take definite pride with this podcast is, this podcast gives us three the ability to like share our views on certain things, how we'd like to see it, our interpretations of certain things. And that's kind of why I started doing the live streams on TikTok, which it's like, no matter what social media outlet you go to, you post your wrestling opinion, and you are either going to get A, completely agreed with, or B, absolutely fucking belittled for it.
100%.
In this area on these lives and with the podcast, my goal at the end of the day is to make it a entirely safe space for everyone.
Well, what, like Punk always says, you can't please anybody. And like, you have the IWC that will complain about one thing and then they get what they want, but then they'll continue to complain about what they got.
If I could leave people with a word of advice, is do not listen to the IWC.
Twitter is not real.
No. As coming from somebody who's not quite a believer, Twitter is a godless place.
Yeah, to the point where, like, for me, I'm almost contemplating just like leaving it in general, because I'm on like TikTok and Instagram more than I'm on Twitter, and the only reason why I keep Twitter is so I can keep up on like what's really going on in wrestling.
I keep it mutual friends who I have on there.
I get on it just because I like to see arguments about it. Like, I don't get involved with them, but I'm just like, man, I like watching this shit. It's kind of fun. But on that note, everybody, we appreciate you tuning in. Come back to us next episode. Till then, we will see you then. Episode 23. We're out of here.
Go Hawks.